Guys, welcome back. It's Tony with Backwoods Biker and Wood Tramp Gear. I want to show you something today. It's not my wallet, but it's what's in this wallet. So hang tight. Welcome back. I'm going to just review a couple things here with you that have been asked of me in the past, and my comment has always been, don't buy it. I'm talking about mini survival kits because the majority of them are junk when you get them. I've seen probably a half a dozen to maybe a dozen of them, and every one of them that I've ever seen, they are full of junk on the inside that wouldn't help you if you were in a bad situation. And I've always said, you know, put your own together. You know, buy your own little Altoids tin and put in there what you believe is going to help you, because when you put it in there, you can have confidence in it. Well, that was then, this is now, and a couple products were sent to me by David from Ultimate Survival Tips that he has recently developed. Now you'll remember David because he is the maker, the designer and maker of the MSK1 knife. Great knife. You know, you either love it or you hate it. We happen to love it here. It's a great knife. Be that as it may, what I have in my wallet here is, I would say, part one of what he has sent me. But you see me pull this out of my wallet. You see this? This is the Tiny Survival Guide. Beautiful little apparatus that he's putting together here. It opens up, it folds open, and on the inside of this, now I want to be able to talk to you about it. That's why I have the shot out so big. It's not real tight here. But there are 17 different panels in this, or subjects. I don't know how he would want me to say this, but I'm just going to do it on my own here. I think it's just 17 different panels with several different sub-panels. And there are so many subjects. But when you first open this up, it's an instruction on how to use the guide. And then it has a section that says, before you go. And then the question is, bug out or stay home. And by the way, the February issue of the Backwoods Biker magazine has a 4-page article on bugging in or bugging out. Okay? And I'll have a video talking about that, because we don't ever put things like that in that magazine, but there's a reason I did. Then it goes to a red section. You know, this is a warning section. Excuse me. It says, warning, danger zone. Are you in danger right now? Then it goes on to survival, the first steps. And there are 2 different categories here. The mindset of survival and the priorities of survival. And then the rescue, the goal. How to get found sooner. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different little sections there. Then it moves on to a full section on first aid prevention, injury prevention and care. And by the way, the QR codes in here are awesome. I scanned every one of these myself, and it links to your phone. Great articles and videos to be able to learn some survival skills. This has prevention essentials, first aid basics, emergency first aid kit, EDC clothing. All right, it's got tips on it. It's got mental tips on here. Here's a section on shelters. Warm, dry, safe, and secure. Shelter do's and shelter don'ts. It has shelter builds. And look, I'm looking right now here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different shelter configurations on this guy, right? Then it goes on to fire, and you know what I've said to you about fire before, and I've had people argue with me, but fire is the #1 skill that you need to learn before anything else. You need to learn to build a fire anywhere, anytime, under any conditions, any weather conditions. You need to know how to build a fire. Fire is your friend. And it gives you steps on how to build a fire. It gives you the essentials of building a fire. Gives you items for an emergency fire kit. Couple cool things here that I really like. Cover coals at night. This is an expert tip with ashes. All right, make fire when everything is wet. That is cool too. How to build your fire. And then it also gives you alternative sources for a fire. Bow drill basics. Shows you how to make a bow drill. There's 8 steps to that. That's pretty cool. With an IR or QR code there. And then it goes on to the next panel is on water. The essentials and how to find water. Get safer drinking water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tips on that. Even do-it-yourself filters. Pretty cool stuff here. All right, then you go to the other side. Like I said, it's chock full of information. Talks to you about food, the introduction to hunting, how to stay fed in a crisis. Gives you the food essentials, some food from the wild, how to gather it, how to look for it, different types of checklists, a food prep kit, hunting tools that you can make while out in the bush, rabbit throwing sticks. Throwing sticks are pretty cool, you know. They really, really are. How to make a spear, how to make a frog or a fish gig. Then you go over here. Actually, there are 3 panels on the food. All right. One is the hunting, one is fishing, and one is foraging. So now we're going to the trapping part. It shows you different tracks, gives you trapping essentials, traps and snares, survival trapping kit. Shows you how to make a figure 4 deadfall. That's, you know, any traps are just great knowledge to have with you to put in your skill set, because you never know. Give you fishing essentials, different kits, how to prepare a fish. It's got everything in here. Food foraging, edible plants and bugs. And then he's got on here yum. Yeah, okay, Dave. All right, so foraging, it's got 7 different rules. Tells you what bugs to avoid. All of them. I'm kidding. I'm just not, you know, I can't eat a bug, but I really don't dig them, man. I have. I've eaten them raw, and I've eaten them prepared. And, you know, a bug is a bug, dude. That's all I'm saying. Gives you wild edible plants. There's 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 18. And then also shows you how to prepare some small game and birds. Then you go off to the navigation, in which a lot of people don't really have this skill set down, and you should. Gives you navigation essentials, gives you a section on map and topography, gives you a section on navigation, really cool, how to use a compass, the basics of it, and then you get down here to the knot section. You got 7 knots that you need to know. You always heard me say, from my perspective, there are 5 knots that you definitely are essentials that you should know, and these are 7. And I guarantee you, and I forgot to mention this, so forgive me about this, Craig, but David did not do this on his own. He collaborated with Mr. Craig Cottle from Nature Reliance School down in Kentucky, and I call him the Yoda of the bush. Craig is a well of knowledge, and he is a knot expert. You know, he'd probably hit me in the eye for saying it, because he doesn't like the word expert at all with him, you know. He's very humble. But there are 7 knots on here, and it gives you clear illustrations on how to use them and how to make them, okay? Then it goes over, even has a self-defense section, how to fight for your life, because that can happen, all right? SEER, which is survive, evade, resist, and escape. Hostage situation, what you can do on tips to get home, what should be in your SEER kit. Then it has a worst case threats, mass destruction preparation with another QR code, worst case events, and it gives you an emergency NBC kit, okay? Then a section about, you know, David and Craig, desert, Arctic, tropics, resources. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, I like this guide. Now, this is designed to be a proactive type of tool for you. And what I mean by that, when you get this, just don't throw it in your kit. Just don't throw it in your wallet. Just don't throw it in your glove compartment or your console or your backpack or your saddle bag or your tank bag. Take it out and read it, every last one of them. What I did when I got this, I opened it up and I sat down with a cup of coffee and I took about an hour and 45 minutes to very carefully and concisely look over this thing, because I wasn't going to sit in front of this camera and say, hey, this is a great product, if I was not confident in it, because I hate these little micro things, okay? I've made that clear. It took me about 90 minutes, about an hour, I guess hour and 45 minutes is what I said, to really digest it. And then once you do that, that's when you stick it in your wallet or whatever place you're going to take it. And as cheap as these are, they're $9 on Kickstarter right now. It's the only place you can get them. You could buy 3 or 4 of these, you know, not only give them to people in your family, but you could put them in all your vehicles. You could put them in every kit you have. I mean, it's just cheap. You know, I think you should always keep one in a survival kit in every vehicle that you have of some sort. Some people go way heavy on it, and some people go light, you know, whatever your choice is. But this will help you out, because if you do happen to get in a tight, you know, and maybe you have never had this happen, but experts will tell you, they'll agree with me. I don't care how much training you've got. I mean, how much training you got. When a true emergency hits you, there's something, a switch goes off that causes you to want to pause, and that pause could kill you. You heard of the rule of 3. And almost everybody starts off with, in 3 minutes, without blood flow or oxygen flow, you'll die. I am the school of thought. I'm old school. In 3 seconds, you got only 3 seconds to decide whether or not you're going to panic. And if you panic, that could be that pause could be the cause of you or somebody else not making it out of a situation. That's where this will help you out, is that when something happens, you can pull this out, and it's going to help kind of kickstart that knowledge you've already got and be able to push you into a surviving position now. It's a great little guide. You know, I like it, and I don't mind recommending it. Now, along with the guide, you know, this is Mr. MacGyver again. That's what he is. He also developed the tiny survival card. You see that? And it's unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to show you every single tool on here. But go out to Kickstarter and you can see the entire video. But when you flip this dude over, what you have is a multitude of tools that are on here. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different tools. And what you have here is you have a saw that is 2-sided, a fine blade and a medium blade. You've got a pair of working tweezers. You have got 2, I guess those are barbed hooks. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different style of fishing hooks. You have got a finger drill. You've got 3 needles. Even a button. Even a button is on here. You have an arrowhead, and then you have a knife. All of it right here. And this card, it is a magnet that holds all these tools together. You can take it off very, very easily. And here is a point that is well made, is that most of these cards that are out there, when you try to take the tools off, they break because they're flimsy and they're made out of junk. This is heavy duty 302 stainless steel that you can actually take everything off and then put it back on the card to put back in your wallet. Now, I recommend that you actually put the card back inside this bag to help keep everything in place in case you jostle your wallet or whatever, okay? But, again, go out to Kickstarter and you can find this. And I think that these are somewhere around $18 to $20. I don't remember. But they fit so easily in your wallet, right where your credit cards go. Can you see me doing that? Yeah. That's where your credit cards will go. This will fit here in this side of your wallet, anywhere you want. Okay. Now, also, for those of you that like to put together your own micro kits, all right, this is actually the SFK1 Survival Fire Kit from Wood Tramp Gear that we sell. I've got this out here because I wanted to show you. If you wanted to put the kit in there and you wanted to put the survival guide in there, they will fit. Now you've got all your other stuff here that you have put in there, plus now you've got the tiny survival guide and you have got the tiny survival kit. What a way to go. I mean, that is a great option here. I keep calling it a tiny survival kit, but you know, it's the official name is Tiny Survival Card. So I hope that that's helped you out. You know, this is the first time that I've ever endorsed or even made a video on or even mentioned anything that is micro survival related, because most of the products are junk. We're actually writing an article on these two things for the Backwoods Biker magazine that you will see in either the February or the March issue. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this. As always, we want you to subscribe to the channel. When you do, you get put into our monthly giveaways. Like it, share it, and as always, you ride free, you live free, you be safe.